And of course, you can see the weather report on the left of your screens, just a chilly at 19 degrees centigrade, hardly any wind, but remember, it's going to be a very windy and breezy affair. 24 matches on, the Hero HIL is chugging along at a terrific pace. And remember, this is where the action is. Match 25 coming up in your screens in just a bit. Delhi SG Pipers versus Vedanta Kalinga Lancers. This is the 25th game. Remember, this is the last game for both teams in phase 1. Every team is supposed to play 7 games in the first phase, and this is the 7th game for both the Delhi SG Pipers as well as the Vedanta Kalinga Lancers. I'm Sanjeev Mukherjee, and of course with me, Sandy Man, of course, Sandeep Somesh is here in the house. Sandeep, looking forward to another cracker of a battle. The points table is giving absolutely no breathing space for any team whatsoever. Sandeep?
Hi Sanjeev, good evening. Good evening to our viewers across the world. Yeah, I mean, 6th on the points table versus the bottom 8th on the points table. So, yeah, nothing given away from the points table. Still a lot to play for. But interesting, if you look at it, you know, what a viewer should know is after the points, it is the number of matches won.
Yep.
If they are equal on points, is number of matches won. So if you just look at Hyderabad Tufan and UP Rudras, Tufans have 2 wins, Rudras have 3 wins, though they are just on 9 points.
Yeah.
So if they go on to be on equal points, there's always going to be a number of matches won. But let's look at today's games. The Lancers versus the Pipers on 6th and 8th.
Right.
So, I mean, Pipers have to pull something out of the hat if they really want to stay in contention and, you know, make something out of this tournament and progress in the tournament.
If they are at all in contention. But remember, this has been a remarkable tournament as far as the Hero HIL 2024-25 is concerned. We look at the tournament stats now, and we've already hit the century mark. 105 goals in 24 matches. Yesterday, the 100th was, of course, struck by the Rar Tigers' Sukhjit Singh with 56 field goals and 49 coming from set pieces. That's 105 of 24 games. That's close to 4.5 goals apiece. That's making it very, very interesting. 6 shootouts. But the more interesting part is this is where the fun starts, Sandeep. Because the important numbers we're going to show you. This is the end of the first phase. The last 7, everybody plays the 7th game. Then we go to phase 2. That's coming up. What happens? The 8 teams are divided into 2 pools apiece. And we'll have the numbers on your screen. There you go. Now, Sandeep, Pipers and Lancers who are playing tonight, they play each other again because they are in the same pool with the Tigers and Surmas, and Pool B, Ganasika, Tufans, Dragons and Rudras. This is exciting.
Yeah, and actually if you look at it, you know, it seems like the big teams are loaded on one side in Pool B, right? And just to let the viewers know, this has been done just on alphabetical order simply because they did not have a ranking going into this HIL. So the teams are just divided into 2 pools based on alphabetical order, starting with the A and then to Pool B, and you know,
right.
They just continued that way. But yes, before we get into that stage, it is still important to what happens in the last game for all these teams.
Yeah, and this is where perhaps teams like Pipers will feel that they have a second shot at redemption because they're going to play the Lancers twice. First up tonight, next time in the group.
Yeah, but you still have to win, right? You're playing them, but it's...
Where are the wins?
Where are the wins? Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, for the Pipers, you know, they have scored about 10 goals totally.
Just 10 goals.
I'll tell you where they are lacking out. And 5 of these goals have come from one player.
Yeah.
Dominic.
Domain.
Okay, it's been PCs, it's been field goals, it's been a penalty stroke. So he obviously does not have enough support coming from the rest of the players. So that is challenging. So I think for the SG Pipers, until somebody puts his hand up and says, I'm going to take the game by the scruff of its neck today and win it for them, it's going to be difficult. And I also saw the team sheets. Surprising to see that Jarmanpreet and Dilraj are not in the team today. I'm not sure why. I thought they were having a decently good run in the tournament.
Hold on to the third. Let's first break it down. Let's first go to the Lancers now and see how their campaign has been so far. If you look at the Kalinga, Vedanta Kalinga Lancers, remember they're the defending champions. Now they've conceded 15 goals, which is the second most. Just 1 goal from 11 penalty corners in the last 2 games. But they will move to 4th with a win tonight. So that's the interesting. They must have to improve on their penalty corner showing. Now this is where they stand. 9 field goals and 6 PCs they've converted. For their 15, they've conceded 8 PCs and struck 7 field goals. That's how the Lancers' form has been so far. But now comes the interesting part. Why they are highly rated in spite of being 6th on the points table. 155 circle entries, the maximum for any team at this stage. You remember this graphic. After 6 games, Lancers have the maximum circle entries, 155. But as far as effectiveness is concerned, 56 shots, PC's 131. They haven't really converted. So where do they need to improve?
See, another stat that they've missed out there is, of those goals that are scored, there are 8 of them who are amongst the goals. Now that is a good sign for the Lancers, right? So they have people who can get them the goals, as against the Pipers, who are only about 5 amongst the goals. So that is advantage to them. And if you can just get the act together, with the midfield doing what it does so well.
They've got the brink of the goals scored by 2 internationals. Brinkman has got 4 field goals. Hendricks has struck 4 times in penalty corners. This was a short while back when Valentin Altenberg brought in his team for the big clash tonight. The Vedanta Kalinga Lancers, remember the last game saw them being smashed to smithereens by the Tufans. 5-1, the Lancers went down. How are they going to regroup? How are they going to come back? That's the important question. Of course, we'll have to listen into what Mr. Altenberg has to say ahead of this very important game.
Hi coach, how have you prepared your team to respond to the setback of your previous loss and come out strong in this game?
Yeah, we really want to fight like Lancers today and keep our Kalinga smile on our face.
And what about the penalty corner conversions?
You will see.
Oh wow, thank you, all the best.
I like it.
Didn't say too much, did he?
How he responded to Tanya. Wow, he's in some mood, man.
Yeah, he's in
but
some
he has
mood.
To win tonight.
He's in some mood, and probably he has some tricks up his sleeve. The way he said, "You will see."
Yeah.
So
you will see. I mean, he didn't say much, but he's still saying, "You will see."
Yeah. So
sounds ominous.
Yeah, I just think. I mean, they understand how important this game is, right? And to stay in contention and try and break into the top 4. So yeah, we'll have to just figure out how they go about the task.
Right. Of course, they'll be up against a team which have their backs to the wall. Remember the DSG Pipers. They are the only team who haven't won a game. But remember, the Lancers need a big win tonight. If they win this game and win well enough, they're going to jump straight up to number 4 on the points table. Sandeep Somesh has already let the cats out of the bag a little bit as far as for possible tactics could be concerned for the Lancers. But what about the Pipers? They aren't yet piping hot, as they say, Sandy. But we will come back to that. Yes, there's lots of time left before the game starts. But before that, it's time for a chota mota break. Of course, a small little intermission, and we come back and we analyze and break down the DSG till now. Stay right here.
रग रग में है खेलों का रोमांच और एक ही महामंच पर भरे जा रहे हैं देश दुनिया के हर खेलों के रंग। ओलंपिक खेल हों या फीफा वर्ल्ड कप के जांबाज प्रदर्शन, शीर्ष की ओर कदम बढ़ाते मेन इन ब्लू, एशियन गेम्स का रोमांच या फिर वर्ल्ड कप बॉक्सिंग के सुपर पंच, हॉकी वर्ल्ड कप के रोमांचक पलों को भी कैद करता आ रहा है डीडी स्पोर्ट्स। देखें हर खेल सिर्फ डीडी स्पोर्ट्स पर।
ये सफर है एक जुनून का, कुछ हौसलों का, जानवरों, अपनी मिट्टी और इसके लोगों से मेरी बेपनाह मोहब्बत का। मैं हूं प्रतीक वासन, एक ट्रैवल जर्नलिस्ट और एक एडवेंचरर।
क्या हाल है नानू?
कब आए मेले में आप?
आप बताओ कैसे हो? मैं बस अभी आया। घोड़ा कैसे दिलवाएगा?
घोड़े चलेंगे सर जी, अभी अच्छे घोड़े आए हुए हैं हमारे मेले में पुष्कर में।
इस जर्नी में मैं अपनी कैवलरी यानी घोड़ों और ऊंटों की सेना ले आगे बढ़ूंगा।
दुर्गा माता की जय।
और एक पुराने दौर की जिंदगी का रोमांच आपसे साझा करूंगा।
ब्रेड पकौड़े खाने का मन कर रहा है।
ये यात्रा चुनौतियों भरी होगी पर मुस्कुराते हुए पूरी होगी। बने रहिए रोमांच और साहस से भरी इस दास्तां में हमारी सेना के साथ। द कैवलरी गोज टू जोधपुर।
प्रत्येक शुक्रवार रात 11 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर।
आइए देखते हैं इस सब के बीच हमें कश्मीर कैसा दिखा। देखिए अनसीन कश्मीर विद प्रतीक वासन प्रत्येक शुक्रवार शाम 7 बजे और पुनः प्रसारण रविवार शाम 5 बजे सिर्फ डीडी नेशनल पर।
एक शादी कच्ची उम्र की, जिम्मेदारी रिश्तों के फिक्र की, कैसे खिलेगा अरमान बंद मुट्ठी का।
देखिए ससुराल झुनकी का सोमवार से गुरुवार रात 8:30 बजे, पुनः प्रसारण सुबह 11 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर।
Welcome back to Hockey Live, your one-stop destination for all things hockey as we look ahead to match day 20 and match number 25 of the Hero HIL. Remember, last night we saw a fabulous 8-game thriller between the Tigers, who pummeled the Rudras into submission, winning it 5-3, and in the process reaching the milestone of 100 goals. Now, Sandeep Somesh is in the house. This, as we look forward, he's already spoken about the Lancers. Now, let us look at the Pipers. They're the only team who have not won a single game outright. They managed only one bonus point from 3 draws, and they've also conceded the maximum number of goals so far. So it hasn't been a campaign, it's a stop and start campaign as far as the Pipers are concerned. But you look at the goals scored, Sandeep, 10 goals, 5 field goals, 4 PCs, 1 from a stroke, and they've conceded 10 from PCs. There seems to be a problem, and just 6 field goals. And as you primarily said in the previous segment, they have only 1 big scorer. Circle entries 108, shots 31, PCs 133, PC goals only 4. Penalty strokes, they won 1, they've converted 1. In this number, if you look at these numbers, Sandeep, what does it tell you of this team's approach to the game till now?
Well, obviously that's why they're at the bottom of the points table, right? They have not created enough chances. They don't have the firepower up front. And to me, the way I saw it, Thomas Domine seems to be the only person up front doing something. Look, for a striker, there are 2 ways you go about getting your goals.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, what makes him so special?
Yeah, I'll tell you. For a striker, invariably one is he depends on the ball that is released from the midfield, from his deep defense on the opponent's striking circle, and probably makes his way through.
Or even aerial ball.
And and deflects it. And the other way is the striker where he works to win the ball. Right, and create something for himself. Now Domine is that sort of a player. Now we've seen it in a couple of matches, more so in the last match, where he just snatched the ball from the defenders and created something. But what happens is when he's snatching the ball, he's not getting the support that needs to come with him.
Yeah.
He wants to give the ball and maybe get it back. That is not happening. Now, if they can get people who are going to support him when he steals the ball, I think that is going to change. I think Shamsher needs to come more into the game and be more of a, supportive player whenever they see a steal happening from Domine. So until he gets the support, it's going to be difficult.
It's been like a one-man army as Domine. He's scored 5 goals, 2 field goals, 2 PCs, 1 penalty stroke. Gareth Furlong has converted 2 of those PCs, and they have 3 other individual scorers in Veteran Manjeet and Dilraj. But what is their coach, Mr. Reid, as in Graham Reid, thinking about tonight ahead of this big clash?
Hello coach, what specific areas of Delhi SG Pipers gameplay do you believe require the most attention to spark a mid-season turnaround?
Yeah, good question. I think I could probably press repeat on my last discussion with you, and that it still hasn't. We still haven't got enough goals, and I think that we've tried to focus on getting the ball in different parts of the circle. So that's really going to be important. We've been focusing on our PCs, both in defence and in attack. So they're probably the 3 areas. I think Kalinga are going to be really difficult tonight because I think they have also been. Perhaps their stats haven't matched their goals. They've also been creating a lot of opportunities, but haven't been able to score. So yeah, it'll be a great match, and looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, coach. All the best.
The one good thing which we saw. Finally, Graham Reed had a smile at the end of what he had to say out of this campaign. But there are a lot of issues he needs to sort out on the field of play for his team.
Yeah, and I was hoping we would get to know why Jarmanpreet and Dilraj are not playing. Dilraj is not, they're not even in the 20, so that is a little surprising for me. And also considering that Dilraj was one of the goal scorers, so probably Reed has something up his sleeve. So we'll just have to wait and watch.
And of course, they need to score more. Just 4 from PCs, 1 penalty stroke. I mean, it's a stop and start campaign. Even if you look at the 3 games which went into shootouts, Sandeep, they started with a bonus point, but every draw has been a 2-all. It's not that they haven't scored, but they haven't scored where it mattered, and they lost heavy. They lost 4-1 to SRBT. They lost 3-1 to the Rudras. They've lost 3-2 to Tamil Nadu Dragons. That was a very close game.
Yeah, it just says, they're not consistent enough, right? They're able to get the goals up front, but they're also conceding at the back. Sometimes it's a very close match. Sometimes you concede more goals and lose by a bigger margin. So that is, consistency is the crux in a tournament like this, a long tournament, and improving from your previous game to the next game. Now that is something that has not happened the way it needs to happen for the SG Pipers, and just have to work around it and hope for the best. But having said that, let me tell you, when you're at the bottom of the table, you have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
Right? You have absolutely nothing to lose. So you never know, it might just turn around like that.
Kenny Rogers once sang, "We've got tonight." The Pipers might be singing "We've got tonight" with Graham Reed. Who knows? He might have a surprise or two up their sleeve. The win predictor ahead of this game says the Delhi SG Pipers only at 17%. The Lancers seem to be glancing their way through this one. 83%. Sandy, I'm going to take the Pipers side this time. Come on, stick your neck out.
I think so. I think I will.
Sadly for Pipers.
The Pipers are going to, bring out the best yet, and I just think they're going to come off with a surprise.
Right. So the man
but
from Bengaluru.
on paper, it is very, very lopsided towards the Lancers. I mean, they are, way above.
Best part of the show: if Pipers win tonight, Pipers and Lancers will be on same points.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the points table.
Yeah, and everything opens up again.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's back to square one.
So you don't know until the last game is played. It's still open.
The Dragons have left for Ranchi, where they're supposed to play their next game. The Tufans are there, but trust me, they're looking here. They're looking at this game, and remember, this is the second phase. Why? Because coming up after every team plays the first 7 games is phase 2. It divided in 2 pools: Delhi SG Pipers, the Tigers, Surmas, and the Lancers. And Pool A. Pool B will have Gonasika, Tufans, Dragons, and Rudras. My goodness, mouth watering.
Yeah, and just to let the viewers know that points just continue into the second phase too.
Yep.
Right, so I think they just add on the points with every win and the shootouts, and the format continues to be the same.
Right, Sandy, running out of time, very quickly, your prediction for the game tonight.
I'd go with SG Pipers with a win in regulation time.
Say it again, say it to the camera.
SG Pipers win in
Delhi
regulation
SG Pipers,
time.
Sandeep Somesh, boy from Bangalore, Rahul Dravid's first school captain, is batting tonight for the Delhi SG Pipers, and that's the way it has always been on Hockey Live. We have our pundits come out with not only their insight and knowledge, but they've always been right there on the front foot, never afraid to call it like the way they see it and like the way the game has progressed. It's been a fabulous, a fantabulous Hero HIL 2024-25 so far. We've seen some amazing games, amazing individual acts, and some defining moments. Will tonight be another one? Who knows? It's a balmy winter evening here in Rourkela. Do not hold on to your seats and do not go anywhere, because, as they say, the Pipers, they're coming. Will the Lancers sing to the tune of the Pipers? That's a big question. On that note, Sandeep Somesh, myself, say goodbye for the time being. Do not go anywhere. We'll come back with the start of the game. Enjoy.